everybody. Of course,
Hey, so welcome back. Wendy and Jeremy here with Elevation Games, and we are going to do a little unboxing for My Father's Work, a game we picked up at Gen Con, coming to us from Renegade Game Studio.
Mm-hmm.
So this box is very big. It's very big, it's very heavy, and you're going to see in a second why it's so big and heavy. So I'm going to share a funny to me story about this game before we start unboxing it, if that's okay with you. Well, even if it's not okay with you.
Oh, are you asking me?
Yeah, I was asking you.
Of course it's okay.
I'm asking my co-host here. So while we were at Gen Con, I was like super overstimulated. I mean, there's just like so many people, lights flashing, bright stuff, people moving, things moving. There's a lot to see and hear and just kind of take in at once. And it was more than I was ready for. So I kept sneaking outside because I just needed like a little break. And so I'm like standing outside, and there is a man standing next to me, and there is a bag in between us on the ground, in between us. And inside that bag was a big box. A box that was about this big. And I looked down, I mean, like, here's my hand for reference, how big this is. And so I'm just standing there, and I'm like, you know, just kind of looking down at what's in his bag, and I was like, hey, so what's that? What is My Father's Work? And he starts trying to tell me about it. He is very clear he has no idea what's in there. He had to have the same level of knowledge about what's inside this box, and he's like, I don't know, man, I'm just really excited to play it. So, like, here I am talking to a stranger on the street, which I don't talk to strangers. I, half the time, don't even want to talk to people that I know, much less a stranger on the street about a game. And I was like, well, is it heavy? Because it's really big. And he said, it is heavy. And I'm like, can I pick it up? And he's like, can you pick up my game? And I'm like, yeah, I'm curious. And so he just kind of pushed the bag over, and I lifted up the bag and was like, wow, it must have minis in it. And he's like, yeah, I think it does have minis in it. And buddy, does it ever? So that was just my little street interaction with a man not being awkward, never awkward, Wendy Hindy over here. Talking to him about this, and then I come in and Jeremy's like, let's go get this game called My Father's Work. And I'm like, yeah, I just talked to a man on the street about this game. I think he thought I was going to steal it. I don't know. But regardless.
The way that this was going at the show, he might have.
Yes. Yes.
We, not to belabor the funny stories here, but they ran out, and we got in line to get another copy because they were expecting more at like 2:00-ish that day.
Right.
So we're standing in line there with a bunch of other people, and this couple comes up, and the guy asks, you know, what's this line for? And Wendy tells him, My Father's Work. And they go back and forth for a minute. Wendy is desperately trying to go to the bathroom at this point, so she doesn't have any patience for this guy, who I myself thought was just doing a who's on first bit.
I did too. I just thought it was a shtick. I didn't realize that he was asking legitimate questions.
Yeah, me too.
I told him Jeremy was my father, and then quickly ran away because, again, I A, don't like to talk to strangers, but B, really had to go to the washroom.
So she goes off after that very not awkward comment. And the guy is still there, and it takes a minute, and me and the couple who were standing behind me in line, all of a, I think we all three realized at the same time, oh, these people are serious. And I even said to the guy, I was like, I thought you were just doing a bit. No. And we're like pointing at the sign, like, no, the game is called My Father's Work. She wasn't talking about her father. This is the game. And so him and his wife kind of slink off like, oh, God, I feel like an idiot.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us. Okay, so shall we dig in?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh god. This box is so heavy. Okay. I really like this lid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just set it over here so that we can still see the bottom a little bit. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. Okay, so here's the first thing in here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the instruction booklet, yes?
Yes. I don't know if you can tell this on camera. You probably can't. It's really nice print production quality. It's on some very nice paper.
It's like some thick, nice paper. Also, the font. It's got a good size font in it. Like, I don't have to squint to be able to see it with my over 40 eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, honestly, for a box this big, I was expecting a rule book that was just a little bigger. So...
Yeah. Again, I think the companion app helps with that some.
Okay.
If you don't know anything about this game, you are playing as 3 generations of mad scientists. Basically, if you can't tell from this, it's heavily inspired by Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
To put it mildly. So, yeah, really, really nice print quality on the instruction book, which I need to play so we can get this thing to the table ASAP.
And really nice art in here, too. Like, they really did not skimp on the rulebook at all. Like, wow.
Yeah, the theme and the setting here is really unique. I don't know that much stuff that goes this hard on Frankenstein specifically. And yeah, the art is just it's a style. It's a definite style that you see in games, but often it's not. It risks coming across as very generic. But whoever they got to do this definitely avoided that. This is really, really nicely done.
Yeah, indeed.
So.
And on the back cover, a nice little reference for the iconography that you find inside the game.
Yes, no wasted space on the back cover, Mr. Garcia.
And we chuckle because we sat in on a recording of
Dice Tower.
I might be a little sleepy right now, on a podcast for Dice Tower, and they talked about that at great length, like not using the back of the rule book to give a quick reference something. If it's just blank space, it's really just kind of wasted space and wasted money. But that's got a nice little reference. Okay, so the next thing in this box, and I'm going to try to rotate it around a little bit so you can see it's got nice foil on it. So it's real shiny and real pretty. Trying to see if you can see that on camera. But this is the Village Chronicle. So what is this, Jeremy?
This is a map. Straight up.
Okay. Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
It is indeed a map. That's neat.
Yeah, so you've got this, and we'll get to the board pieces in here eventually, this modular board you set up with basically a hole in the center of it, and that's where this goes. So depending on the scenario you're doing, what step in the story you're in, it'll tell you to flip to a different page here. And this is basically your list of actions, the list of places you can place your workers in a given round of the game.
That's neat, and each map is different, it appears. Okay, very Jaws of the Lion, and that's neat, like that you have this map.
Well, and one thing, if you'll flip towards the end here, that I think you can sort of see here.
It gets more complex.
Right. As I said, you're playing these scientists over several generations, and you can actually see the village get bigger and bigger and more modern over time. So
that's neat. And it's a spiral bound, and it's got metal spirals on it, so it'll hold up.
Yeah.
Okay, so next looks like we've got some punchables. And these are, so you've got 2 pages of punchies. You've got coins of some sort over here. They say yay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they say nay on the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty rad. But these,
Yeah, I
are
don't
these
know.
locations?
I don't know what all of these are, but most of them are rooms that you can add to your manor as you go. So
Cool.
You can add in an extensive wardrobe, or a hedge maze, or a secret entrance. And they're just upgrades you can make to your house.
Okay. I see Victory Garden, which is pretty rad. These are just like little 2x2 squares on really thick cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
They really spared nothing on this game.
No.
Everything just seems really high quality and really neat. Okay, so now we have...
Speaking of your manor house.
Took a second for me to orienteer.
Yeah.
So is this a 4-player game?
It is.
So you've got 4.
Yeah, 1 to 4, I think. I think you can play it single player.
So you can play the solo.
Yeah. And so these are effectively your player boards. So you've got some skills over here that you can level up in. Chemistry, biology, engineering, and occult. Get access to different abilities based on your level in those. And then again, I don't know if you can see the slots here, but this is where those punch out rooms go that you add to your mansion.
And that's really neat. It's going to be hard to show on stream, but like, again, just like the attention to detail on this is incredible. So, actually, can we punch out one of those? Just like, we just grab one. It's inlaid, so you don't even just lay it on top of the board, which always things get kind of shifted around. Like, these just go in, and then it becomes flush on the board, which is really nice. But then, like, it's literally the little things. There's another little indentation here so that you can get those out easily as well without having to, like, go to all of the work of flipping it back over.
Well, and speaking of attention to detail, I don't know if this is visible on the camera here, but like these are all different.
Yeah, that's why I kept 2 of them up here so that you could see that they, like, if you look at the living room up here in this area, they're different.
Yeah.
They've got different kinds of labs.
It's very subtle on a lot of these, but they are, each one of these has different art at the very least on it.
And again, like, the art on these guys is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Good design. Good graphic design.
Yeah.
Well done. No wonder this game was sold out, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so next in here we have what I believe are, it looks like a board.
Yeah, this is the board. It all snaps together, and then the book, like I said, goes here in the middle with your village.
There's the top 2, and then you've got the bottom 2. So does the book go down here?
I believe the book
Let's
goes
see that
right
on screen.
here.
Just on top.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's neat. And that's really not, for this to be such a gigantic box, that's really not a gigantic board.
Yeah, it actually doesn't take up that much table space. I mean, you do have to account for the fact that you could have up to 4 of these things as well.
Sure.
But considering the complexity here, it's not a huge table space.
I really like the greens and blues that are on this board too. Like, it's really dreary.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of moody, I think is the word. That's nice.
And this goes in that bottom slot you had here.
Oh, okay.
Because of course you have an insanity tracker
to
see how insane you have gone.
Is this pre-quarantine or post-quarantine? Yeah, that just snaps right in. Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, again, completely flush here. Like, this all is just one board.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be my favorite game.
They did a very nice job with the production on this thing, for sure.
There was nothing hurried. This game was not created in a weekend. Okay, so now let's talk about like the guts of what we are all here for. Actually, let me turn the box like this so I can just set this on top. So, you gotta love a good organizer. Sorry, gang, our polar bear is in here with us. You gotta love a good organizer, and there is a lot inside this organizer. You can tell I've been slinging this box around. Okay, so let's look first. We'll save the best for last, right? So you've got different meeples in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only gonna take these ones out of the bag to show them to you. Unless you want to pull those out, Jeremy.
Yeah, I mean, again, we don't really know what all these do yet at this point.
Yeah, we will learn. Looks like you've got a pitchfork, a gargoyle, and a knight of some sort. And they're real thick, they're real heavy.
A little chalice and a skull.
Oh, I love this one.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a good skull? I will get some, I will get these components in the light box and take some good pictures and get them on our Instagram, which is
and the
Elevation.
Star of the show.
Yeah, there was one of those in here too. Check them out here. I keep hearing the song Monster Mash in my head. I'll get some good photos of this on our Instagram. If you look at elevation_games, you can see these guys up close and in person. But just like little slots for everything in here. And some standees for all of these miniatures. So Jeremy, let's talk about these miniatures.
Mm-hmm.
There are 24 of these in here. They're a nice resin feel. They look like they're about 2 inches tall, maybe 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
So who are these people?
So I mean, this is essentially a worker placement game when you get right down to it. So you can send different people. I think you start with your character, your doctor character. And I think you have some choices here between male and female doctors.
Always appreciated.
As well as your spouse, which can be either. Plus, so you've got your doctor, your spouse, and then a manor keeper. So your bog standard. Can you get him out of here?
Yeah.
Seriously, came up. There we go. Your average Igor here, and you can get more as the game progresses, obviously, but I think that's broadly what you've got here. And you indicate what is what based on the base that you put on them.
Visual management, always appreciated in life as well as board games.
So I think ultimately any of these figures can be anything. You just indicate what they are by the base that you put on them.
Okay. Smart.
Yeah.
Cannot express enough how cool it is that they have female presenting and male presenting players for you to play that you can choose from. They put a lot of thought into this design, including inclusivity, which is important. A lot of times in games where there's a doctor, the doctor is a man, or male presenting, and if there is anything else, then that's where the women, if they're even in there at all, go. So that's dope. This is probably my new favorite game. We haven't even played it yet. So also in here are just some turn order cards. So it's got a nice explanation for you to keep, just like a little quick reference. And then again, a iconography guide. So that's a really good little player card, and it just fits into this slot. Man, game trace. Okay, well, that that explains it. Game Trays make some really neat insets.
It's the company. Okay.
Yes. And another thing that's really neat, I'll see if I can tilt this a little bit and you can see these like notches on top of this. All of the game pieces that are on top sit in on this. And so these just give it a holding place so they don't shift around inside the box. So much attention to detail.
I should say, what we have here is a specific Kickstarter edition. I don't know which one. I don't really know any details about the Kickstarter they ran for this.
Okay.
But it's entirely possible that these nice trays are something that you don't get in the base box. I just don't know.
Well, if you have the option to get just like if I don't know what it looks like on game shelves. I don't think it's in game stores yet. No. But when it gets there, if you didn't kickstart this or you didn't pick it up at Gen Con, if presented the option between getting a standard version or kicking in a couple extra bucks for this upgraded version, I am a person who like won't recommend getting a deluxe version just for the sake of having it. But this one, I feel like if these trays are part of the upgrade, it's nice to like, because there's a lot of components in this box, and I don't want to even think about what it would look like if they were all just in here rolling around in plastic bags. Like, I feel like that upgrade from the standard version is money spent if you can, like, well. Okay, so it looks like we've got 3 of these boxes in the bottom of the box. So are these scenarios or campaigns?
Essentially, yes. I'm unsure whether or not these are each stand alone or if this is your 3 generations of doctors.
Okay.
But basically, I do know that when you are setting this up, it is a game that you have to play with a screen. So just know that up front.
Okay. Not even mad at it.
It does have a companion app that runs alongside it, and you basically punch in which one of these you're using, and these have...
Is the companion app included?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just something that you pay additional...
No.
It's not like a bonus or a tack on. Okay.
No, and it may even be... I haven't looked up details yet. It may even work like Forgotten Waters does, where you just go to a website.
Yeah.
But it does work similarly in that you tell it, okay, we're playing the cost of disease, so that it knows what stories to pull, and you've got a bunch of custom pieces that are only for this version. A bunch of custom cards that only go with this.
Kind of like Battle at Hogwarts.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, so there's 3. I assume that they've got to be working on expansions.
Oh, I'm sure. And I think I get the sense that these are replayable. That this isn't a play once and you're done with it forever.
That's nice.
Yeah. And you can actually see if you look on these, and I think this is going to be the same on all of these, but it tells you own the individual scenario box. 2 to 4 players, 180 minutes, ages 14 plus.
Okay.
List of components, all that stuff.
The list of components is really nice and really appreciated. So you can make sure you're not forgetting something. Yeah. Okay, now let's talk about this. This is where a lot of the weight in the box comes from, I feel like. Mm-hmm. This right here is heavy, and you'll see why in just a second. So again, this game trays divider. Lynn, you've got on top here. Jeremy, walk us through what we've got in this divider down here.
These are resources. Everything in this is a resource of some kind. Again, don't know how they all play into the game. I can tell you for sure our part of the upgraded Kickstarter version here is metal coins and metal gears here. These are cardboard, I believe, in the base game.
Okay. Which I think would be fine if they were cardboard based on the punch outs that we have from a couple rows ago.
Yeah. You have coffins.
And I noticed the coffins are different. Did we pull out the same one?
Possibly.
Soulmates.
But yeah, again, attention to detail, right? Like, I don't think there is any sort of mechanical difference between these two coffins, but visually, they're different.
And this one is too.
Yeah, so...
Incredible.
Yeah. Animals, not sure what you use these for, but a bunch of different animals, I'm sure experiments.
And these aren't as thick as the ones that were with the little minis, but they still have a nice weight to them and a nice feel, like hand feel, which is always nice on a game piece.
Yeah. And your pandemic cube, your standard pandemic cube down here, these represent those different stats that we looked at on the player board. So occult, engineering, biology, chemistry, I think.
Sounds right.
Speaking of which, these bottles, which are maybe the coolest thing in here.
This is so rad.
These I believe represent different chemicals that can
you
be
can't even
resources.
see it on screen. Yeah, they're just like little vials. It looks like something you would keep beads in, or like, I don't know, Jeremy, if they were ever marketed to you like necklaces that would have these, and it had like a little message in a bottle in it. But yeah, that's neat, and they're actually glass.
Yeah.
And they're usable.
Heavy.
You can remove the cork and put stuff in them. I put the little cubes in there and had to fish them out when we got home today. But yeah, like, so rad. And again, I will get some good pictures of these components up on our Instagram account so that you can see them, because I mean, it's so brilliant. It's so brilliant. It's just absolutely brilliant. I don't know another word to describe it.
And it's
word
just
to describe it.
It's just a simple matter of, I mean, you could use anything for these resource tokens, right? But they have gone this extra mile to make these things. It makes me think about something a few different designers I've heard talk have said when they talk about table presence. You know, when you put it out on the table, like, this is going to catch your eye anywhere among any other game that it's next to. This is going to draw your attention. So
it is. Indeed it is. Okay, so we've got one last little organizer in here. A, B, and C on our game trays, and they've got cards inside them. So I'm not going to open these up yet, but they're very bright.
Yeah, I think these do correspond to your different generations of doctors.
Sure. And then down in the bottom of the box, I assume that these are just organizers for these cards, whatever they are for, as well as the, I feel like those go in there. As well as, I'm sure, the things that we're punching out. If I had to guess, these are going to be the holding spaces for those.
Probably.
And then everything just nests. Definitely. And then everything just nests down into the box. So this is rad. I'm going to need you to memorize this book. It's not even that thick, so I feel like you can have it ready by the morning when I wake up.
Okay.
And I'll say this too about the box. If I see a box this big, a lot of times I get nervous and won't necessarily want to play a game. There are people, they will put, I was talking to someone on social media about this a couple days ago, when you have this gigantic box for a game and then you open it up and like 20 to 30% of the box is just air or more. And so it takes up extra room on your shelf. It is just kind of a waste of paper and cardboard and all of that. So, like, if you think about the Splendor box, as much as we love the game Splendor, the Splendor box could be about 1/3 of the size of what it is currently, but the design choice is to have a bigger box so that it's more eye-catching on a shelf. This box could have been bigger. This box could have easily been a lot bigger, and I don't think anybody would have been mad at it, but instead they literally used every single square inch of this box and have put a lot of thought into how things are arranged inside here. And like, again, like as if we needed further proof that they really put some thoughtful design into this game. Let me put these in here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm just building the box back up. So these guys actually still learning. I feel like it's like the first time I put away Gloomhaven, it was just so clunky. Okay, and we got our player boards. We've got our punchies. I will punch these out tomorrow. Chronicle. And y'all, that is my father's work. We will get this on the table as soon as possible. Mm-hmm. So rewarding. Again, just everything about this game I am excited about. They foiled the windows. I just noticed that. And the lightning. Mm-hmm. So that it's extra shiny. They even foiled, it looks like they did, the little windows in the little town over here. Like, it's hard to see, I think, on camera maybe. Oh no, not that hard. But all the little bitty tiny little slivers of windows over here, they foiled.
Yeah, I think this is UV coating, actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that shows how much I know about paper products. I'm like, well, it's shiny, whatever it is. They shinied it.
Yeah, they definitely shinied it up.
Okay.
Do you want to open another one?
Yeah, let's look at Fall of the Mountain King.
Okay.
And then we may have to call it a night.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fall of the Mountain King, I have not seen inside this box at all. And like Jeremy said, this is a game we picked up at Gen Con. Mm-hmm.
It is the prequel.
Jeez, it's heavy.
Yeah, there are a lot of, I think, wooden minis in there.
Okay. And I'll give you like a little thickness measure here on this guy. Here's a hand for reference. So it's about half the height of my father's work, a little bit less than half.
Yeah. This is the prequel to In the Hall of the Mountain King.
Okay.
As I said, you were playing as ogres or trolls, one or the other, defending your home against invading gnomes, and competing with the other players to be the most famous.
So, it's so colorful. When we walked up to the Burnt Island booth, there was a father and son in line in front of us, and the guy that was working the booth was trying to sell him on the game or like explain the game to him, and the dad was, I think, trying to decide if the son wanted it. Like, we were just standing there in line, like so many lines all weekend. But so he sees us standing back there as he's talking to them, and he said, you know, can I help y'all with something? And we were like, yeah, we're just here for Fall of the Mountain King. And he's like, I got you, and like just hands it over, and we're doing the whole thing. And then the guy that was in line kind of in front of us trying to decide if he wanted it or not was like, we'll take one of those too. I was like, okay. So maybe we helped make up his mind. Okay, so let's look in this box, and I haven't seen anything that's in here, so that is, I'm excited. It's kind of like Christmas again. So this, I'm assuming, is the instruction book.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything in this either.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yes.
It is, and it's not very thick, and you can see it's got illustrations pretty big. The instructions not as big of a font as my father's work, but still like easily readable, with a lot of pictures supporting it too, which is nice and always appreciated. And it's 15 pages long, and it's got some great art. Look at this. I'm playing this guy, whoever he is.
Okay.
That's me. They illustrated me. And then the back does not have a quick reference. Looks like it just ends the instructions there. Fair enough.
Although we might have a quick reference here. I don't know.
This looks like supplementary instruction booklet that gives you the requirements to play solo. So it is neat that a game this size and this weight also gives you the option to play solo. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how this works. More games are doing this now, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Success varies pretty wildly on how well their solo instructions work. So I'll be very interested to see how well this version works.
I have played Spirit Island solo. It was like the first game I ever tried to play solo. Oops, I'm punching it already. And I couldn't keep up with everything. I realized how much I rely on Jeremy to keep the game moving when we play. So like some games are a little more challenging on solo mode. Some of them the solo mode just kind of seems like an afterthought. But the fact that they've got a 4-page long instruction for how to play on solo mode is a good sign, I think. Okay, so next in, we've got some punchable, looks like maybe a character reference just based on what we saw in the instruction manual. And then like a big ol', is this Odin's hammer? Thor's hammer?
I don't know.
Okay, it's got some runes on it. I thought you could read runes. I'm just kidding. But that is exciting.
Yeah, some nice tokens.
Yeah, they've got a good weight on them too. A great weight. Awesome. We have a double-sided board. Let me move this so that we can lay this board out here. So you can see it's very bright. You can see you've got different colors on here. You've got the purples, yellows, browns, blues, greens, oranges. And then a point tracker on the outer.
I think these are the different clans that you can play as.
Cool, okay.
And their territory.
So maybe this is for fewer... Is it... Are there more colors on this side? Yeah, I think there's more colors on the other side.
Okay.
Oh yeah, look, 2 to 3 players.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They give you a reference.
Yeah.
That's cool too, so you're not having to like struggle to make the... And then this is for 4 to 5. So you don't have to like fight over spaces if you're playing with more players.
Yeah.
Man, this board, I'm looking at it on camera, and it is photographable. It's nice matte. Pretty.
Yeah.
I can't have another new favorite game. I just got a new favorite game. Okay, and then we've got some bags for components later.
Lots of meeples.
Yeah, so... And this is a good example of, and I realize that this was not just make the box bigger so that it shows up better. The board fills up this entire box, but you see how you've got your dividers in here? If this was just this, then we could have cut the box down. Lots of meeples. Jeremy, what are these things? I'm just throwing them all at Jeremy. I just got overwhelmed with all of these colorful meeples.
I think these are your different trolls that you can put out to control territory.
I love trolls.
Cubes that correspond with the different clan colors. Not sure what those are used for.
Okay, I'm taking these out of this plastic bag though, because it was like double bagged in plastic, so that y'all can see what these colors look like. Incredible.
That correspond with those colors.
For this to be a like dark, dungeony, cavey looking game, the colors that they've chosen to go with it, like this hot pink, hot yellow. I mean, it's like an episode of Saved by the Bell up in here. This nice blue. That's gorgeous.
Some fighter meeples, I think.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know what these coins are for. They've got a little guy on one side and a number on the other.
Now let me take one out. Let's look at this. Okay, yeah. Like a big number. Number 1. And then a man with a hat. Do they all have the man with the hat?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's just the Mountain King, maybe?
Maybe.
And these are thick. Nice wood components. Are they all wood?
Yeah, I think everything here is wood.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah. Big tracker of some kind, I assume. And I suspect this might be a first player token.
Man, I thought that's what this was, but that is definitely a first player token.
I don't know why these exist, but...
You know, there are... Just because they're not for us, I don't want to yuck somebody's yum.
Sure.
Okay. I assume that this is a player board of some sort.
Yeah, some sort of tracker. Keep track of something.
Indeed.
Beer? I don't know. There's a barrel on it. A keg.
And then some kind of card. Friend or foe? I don't know. But they are huge. Look at these. Hand for reference again. It's like, 3/4 the size of my hand, which is nice. Like, imagine playing with these, just having a handful of these guys.
Yeah, I think you are... Part of what you're doing here is recruiting other troll heroes to your army.
Okay.
And so I think that might be what those guys are.
Okay. Nice art on these.
Yeah.
Kind of yawning. Yawn. Nice art on these guys. Egatha, I think. And a nice big font on them too. So again, you don't have to like squint to see. Okay. Some more trackers.
Yeah, so I don't understand how this works yet, but you are somehow playing a tile laying game that determines your lineage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I don't understand how all that works yet, but I know it's on the back of the box.
Okay. And then looks like some player cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little quad with a barrel. I don't know, this person in the hat again. Some hieroglyphics. And
Until I have read this, I do not know.
well, I'm going to need you to read it because I'm intrigued. And then we've got some little cards here. Changes for 2 players. Instead of sharing challenges, each player draws 2 challenges for themselves. So it even has like an offset for 2 players.
Apparently.
Which is neat. I don't know what this is, but I like it. I thought it was a spinner at first. So you've got a wheel that has different icons. A fighter, a hand, a mystery, a shield. And then perhaps a place for your players to land.
Yeah.
I need you to know all the answers. Okay, and then the last thing looks just like another tracker 4 characters.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe 4 elements.
I think those are the different clans. So maybe you're keeping track of whichever ones you're playing as. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We will. So I'll say this again. Like, these are printed on really nice cardboard. They've got a really nice finish on them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's matte, so it shows up really well on camera. It's really pretty to see in real life as well. And it's really thick, but not overly thick, like wastefully. Like, it's not flimsy at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just printed really well. Like, again, like when people put thought into the design and don't just put something, make this 3 times as thick as it is because it's showy, or make it thinner than this because it's cheaper. Like, people that actually put that thought and into their design, since we've been designing our own games, have learned to appreciate that a lot more than I did in the past. And then, like, I'm going to show one last thing. There's an illustration in the bottom of the box, which is neat. You've got a troll, a dwarf, ogre.
It's the cover.
It is the cover. It's a black and white version of this. Man, I would not have noticed that. I would never have noticed that, but that's exactly what it is. And you know, it's really dope in these colors, and like, it's like a real, like, cavey, but also fiery at the same time.
Yeah, it's a very dramatic art style. It really stands out against other stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
But the black and white version is also really, really dope.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So look for this Fall of the Mountain King on our table soon too. So you said this one. Oops. You said this one is fulfilling from Kickstarter right now.
Yes, I believe that is the case.
Okay. So it will probably be in game stores in a couple months after fulfillment's done. Then.
Yeah, in theory, somewhere around there. I expect both this and my father's work to be available in retail probably late fall, maybe, something like that.
But don't quote us on that.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have any special knowledge here.
But in the meantime, you can see... Let me get all these back down here. I want to just have like... Oops, I punched it again. Have just one more appreciation of this board. And like, this is for 4 to 5 players, and it's not huge. Like, this Everdell is bigger than this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is for twice as many players as Everdell. It's just a good use of space.
Yeah.
And it's really pretty. Okay, so...
And I will say, again, I don't know how this works yet because I haven't read the instructions, but one of the things they brag about is that it is, while it is technically a competitive area control game, you are not directly fighting each other. You are outmaneuvering people somehow, but it sounds like they made an effort to make it softer and less directly competitive.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Like, we struggle sometimes when we play competitive style games because I take it personally when Jeremy like attacks my camp. Like, I will throw bombs on Jeremy's camp, but like, I also get upset if Jeremy hurts my camp. So it's nice that it's a competitive game, but we're not doing like direct assaults to each other. Okay, well, look for this on our table soon. Fall of the Mountain King.
And my father's work.
And my father's work.
We'll be playing both of them.